Good morning to you viewers. This is News Headlines, live from Wisdom Yards Television. I am Toyosi Adeshino. Listen to the headlines. Opposition reps propose over 100,000 naira minimum wage. Fake military officer detained for impersonation in Ogun. Tinubu gives order to finance minister to submit cost of new minimum wage. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu yesterday gave marching orders to the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, to prepare the cost implications of a new minimum wage and present an affordable, sustainable and realistic figure today. According to him, the government's new offer must be ready today as the basis of negotiation with organized labor. He also directed those involved in negotiations to expedite action so that everything on the new minimum wage could be concluded as soon as possible. Recall that the federal government had given offers of 48,000 naira, 57,000 naira and 60,000 naira which Labour rejected and embarked on an indefinite nationwide strike on Monday but suspended yesterday. Tinubu gave the order when he summoned the federal government representatives in the tripartite committee on new minimum wage to a meeting in his office yesterday. Those at the meeting with the president were the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkeruka Oyejocha, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and GMD/CEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, CEO NNPCL, Mele Kyari. Speaking after the meeting, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the meeting was summoned by President Tinubu to look at the contentious issues and find amicable solutions to them. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives elected on the platform of opposition political parties have called on the federal government to implement a new minimum wage more than 100,000 naira to assuage organized labor. Organized labor, made up of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, is demanding 494,000 naira minimum wage as opposed to 60,000 naira proposed by the federal government. After a series of meetings ended in stalemate last week, organized labor embarked on a nationwide strike on Monday which grounded economic activities across the country. In an interview with The Punch on Tuesday, the minority leader of the House of Representatives, Kingsley Chinda, lamented the condition of the average Nigerian worker, stressing that failure to pay a living wage was a constitutional breach. He said, in Nigeria today, any wage below $200 equivalent to $298,800 is ridiculous. The Nigerian worker is heavily underpaid and it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the security and welfare of its citizens. Failure to pay a living wage is unconstitutional as the welfare of citizens is neglected. Public and government officers should have their monthly wages while we consider the hourly rate for private or casual employees. The earlier the government conclude this matter with labor unions, the better. Like Chinda, a member of the People's Democratic Party and lawmaker representing Obokun Oriade Federal Constituency, Osun State, Oluwole Oke, said only the payment of a living wage would enable the majority of Nigerians to cope with the current economic realities. A 43-year-old man, Mohammed Awolu, has been arrested and detained by the Ogun Police Command for parading himself as a military officer in Ogere, Kenne local government area of the state. Awolu was arrested last Wednesday by operatives of the Special Weapons and Tactics Team of the Ogere Police Division during a visibility parole in the area. Punch Metro gathered from a police source who was privy to the incident but was not permitted to speak on Tuesday that the impostor was parading himself with a military camouflage and his acclaimed profession's identity card, which indicate that he is a serving naval officer deployed to Port Harcourt. Awolu confessed during an interrogation conducted by another team of military personnel in that area that he was not a trained officer of the Nigerian Navy. He said that Awolu bought his military uniform for 10,000 naira and also his identity card for 5,000 naira, and he alleged that Dawon Umaru, who lives in Ojodu-Bega area of Lagos, sold it to him. When asked how the costume supplier could be contacted, he said there was no way they could reach Umaru because he was not dead. His military outfit and identity card were recovered from him. When contacted, the spokesperson of the Ogun Police Command, Omolola Oditola, confirmed the development and said a discreet investigation was ongoing, adding that the suspect was currently detained. Before the news comes to an end, listen to the headlines once again. Opposition reps propose over 100,000 naira minimum wage. Fake military officer detained for impersonation in Ogun. Tinubu gives order to finance ministers to submit cost of new minimum wage. Thank you for listening. I remain Toyosi Adeshino.